for Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. But let's focus first, Perry, on us. How are you feeling, mate? Because before we sat down in this room, we're very deflated.
Right, hold on, wait. Can we just? I want to hold hands for a minute. Sort of
Need a
stay
prayer,
together.
man.
Exactly. Just have a moment and just go to a higher power. Mikel.
God help us. God, Mikel, everyone.
Do you know what? Obviously, it was unbelievably upsetting and disappointing. And losing against Bournemouth, and I don't want to be. When people say I don't want to be disrespectful, then you end up being disrespectful, right? So. Bournemouth are a very, very good team. I've said before that the middle tier of the Premier League is the strongest ever been. They were 11 unbeaten before they come to us, even though they'd drawn, I think, 7. But they knew, and we knew, they was going to come for us, that they were going to press, they were going to be high energy, and they're going to be energetic. But it was just the way that we lost. The way that we lost was a disappointing thing, because if you lose and you're going out, especially in the last... probably 20 minutes where you go, right, we've got to get something out of this game, and you're getting crosses in and goalkeepers making like world-class saves, or you go, at least give it was like a stark reminder that the players are feeling the pressure, and they did look nervous, and that's why they were leggy. Footballers' night is like the Wembley leg. Sometimes you get to your first Wembley final and you start running, you think, there's nothing in my legs for no reason. You know what I mean? Not because you're actually tired, fatigued, or played too many games. It's the nerves and you're overthinking. That's how our players looked on Saturday. So that was the way. Declan Rice was excellent. Yeah. Did everything he did. Eze, when he come on, had a little bit of a spark. So that was a good sign. Apart from that, Gyökeres scored his penalty, so he keeps his goal record going. But other than that, there was nothing positive to say. But it's still in our hands. You know what I mean? We've got to remind you two and all the Arsenal fans, we're still 6 points clear.
Facts.
So this is where we want to be. But we all know, we talk about Sporting Lisbon later on, the Sunday game against Man City, that's probably our biggest game for 22 years.
I think the problem is, CJ, Perry's right, it's in our hands. If we do the business on Sunday against Manchester City, it feels and looks completely different. Inside Gooners will be a different show next week.
He smiles around.
Yeah, but it's our performances, I think, which are the problem at the moment, not even the losses.
Yeah, man. I mean, Nick, Perry said it all, man. And it's a weird one in that we are still top of the table. We still have it all in our hands, but it's the performances. I know we beat Sporting Lisbon and we'll get onto it, but the last 4 games for me, they've been flat. I can't really see any protagonists. Like Perry was speaking off camera, and I make him right in that I just think fans need something to get behind. Max Dowman, we know he's 16, 17, and we know all the logic that goes against it, but fans will get behind that. And I know we're talking about Bournemouth. The most disappointing thing for me is the fans rose to the occasion. I can't quite say the players and Mikel Arteta did. It was flat. There was no inspiration. Kind of like the mistakes that we've seen all season have kind of shot us in the back of the head with what we did. It just wasn't there, man. And as much as the Bournemouth game annoys me, there are certain things, as I always say here with you two, like for me, it's like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm kind of seeing the same old things. You just can't tell us to bring our breakfast and our lunches and things of that ilk and perform like that, players. Now, you can make yourself a hero this week. As Perry said, in 22 years, this could be our most important week. This is a week where if you obviously go and win the Prem, you're looking like heroes. Do you want to be legends or not? We're sat here with someone who's been there, done it for Arsenal Football Club. There's many an Arsenal fan here that are too young to see the Invincibles. They'll be the first ones you guys remember. And what annoys me is we're so close. Like, we've been so close. We're at the final kind of furlong. It's like revising for a test in a school year. And like, when you get to crunch time, now you want to kind of lose your focus, all these things. I don't doubt the nerves. You can have nerves. You're human beings. But there's a lot more to give. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, we're not through to the next round of the Champions League. But all the focus with you two, myself, and every Arsenal fan is how we react on Sunday. Like, it's a shootout on Sunday, man.
You know how crazy it is?
It's funny,
it's
isn't
it? We've got a second leg of a Champions League quarter-final where we're 1-0 up and most Arsenal fans are going, all right, if we win that one, great. And it's not, as you said, there's not the full focus. The players have got to be fully focused on the Wednesday game, right?
But us fans...
You want momentum, you want to win, so you take the positivity. Arsenal fans are looking at that going, okay, if we get in the Champions League semi-finals, that would be great. But I'd take going out of the semi-finals, but winning against Man City on Sunday. That's where a lot of Arsenal fans are, if we're being honest.
I'm with that.
Isn't it funny, though, because it'll be the first time in our history that we get to back-to-back Champions League semi-finals and kind of, because of the way it's going in the league at the moment and the performances, nobody's really focusing on what could be an incredible achievement for this set of players and this coach. But Perry, you've previously, on many occasions actually, praised Mikel Arteta's work off the pitch and his attention to detail, the way he turns off the screens, or well, not him personally, but, the screens are off at half-time, so the fans are all back out in their seats for the second half and all of that stuff. The attention to detail is second to none. We've seen the team training in front of a big screen this week, watching TikTok videos and all that. CJ brought it up. Mikel asked fans to bring their dinner and breakfast and lunch and all sorts to the stadium. Is it time, though, to just go back to basics a bit? Because this is clearly not working for these last 5 games at crunch time.
Yeah, but what happens is with Arteta, and I love his intensity, because I've said before, we're only where we are because of him. That's it. Forget Edu with his sporting stuff. It was all the players that Arteta wanted in and out. So that's where we are, right? But I think what happens is he's now got to be a little bit calmer, because I love the way he bounces about in the technical, because I always say teams mirror managers, do you know what I mean? And that energy then transmits to the... But now this is a case now, if you're a body language expert, you'll be going, just calm down now. Just calm down and be very calm, because when the players are looking over and they're looking for a little bit of guidance leadership and they see the manager is nice and calm, you stay calm. So I think even in the... I don't know, because the stats are going about Man City are brilliant in April. I think they average 2.57 points per game under Pep Guardiola, and we drop off in April. Now I don't know what the training's like. I don't know if the training's intense, or he needs to just calm that down a bit. But the other thing is, Arteta's seen the way that Guardiola works. He's been there. He's been his number 2, and he's seen exactly what he does. So you hope that you nick stuff when you're playing football. You nick stuff from other coaches, other players, but he has to elude total confidence and belief. And he will say to the players, and I go back, and we've all been in situations in our life. Everybody's been in a situation in their life where things ain't going well. Nobody's life just goes great. Don't you have rejections? You have setbacks. I got released by Wolves when I was 16, and I was there for 2 years, from 14 to 16 as a schoolboy, and then you sign an apprentice. They sent me a letter saying, "Dear Perry, we're sorry, we're not going to give you an apprenticeship due to financial..." Basically, it means you're useless, Ginger. Do one. We don't think you're any good. But my well collapsed, because I'd never been told ever that someone thought that I wasn't good enough. Yeah. Even when I was 6, my dad never said well played, because I was craving his approval, right? But from 6 to 16, I was best playing in the school team, in the Sunday team, in the district team, in the county team. And someone went, "You ain't good enough." Gone, devastated. My life is finished. I ain't going to be a footballer. Cry my eyes out. My dad comes home. Mum says, "Where's the boy?" And I was only a child. I think, "You can call me Perry." You know what I mean? So Mum says he's upstairs. And I'm crying out. He said, "All right, boy." I went, "Yeah." He said, "What's the matter with you?" So I said, "I'm done, Dad. They don't think I'm any good. I'm finished. I'm not going to be a footballer. What am I going to do?" He went, "Do you know what?" He went, "I think you're good enough. And I believe that you're good enough. And I've got the desire to help you get you want to go to." He said, "But it's not me. No good me believing it, me having desire. If you don't believe it, and you don't believe in yourself, and you don't have the desire, it ain't happening." He said, "But I'll take you to there's 92 clubs, obviously. I'll take you to 91. Only one coach needs to say that you're good. That's it." So he should give them a speech where they go, in their lives, in their football careers, there'd be times where things didn't happen. Like Declan Rice, great example. Got released, got by Chelsea, right? So then they've all got, you guys will have a reference point where you go back in your life and you go, "Oh, that didn't really work out for me," or "When I was working, I didn't get the promotion I should have had," or, "I felt a bit nervous," or "That show didn't go well." But you learn from that, and then you move on. Everybody has a reference point. So he should be saying to these, right, it was pants on Saturday. There's no getting over it. It's not even worth going. I must admit, when they go for it, it's not worth say, "By the way, you all dropped well below your levels, but I know the levels that you can play, but you have to believe it, and you have to believe in all of your teammates." And if that happens, we'll be right on Sunday. I've got no qualms in that at all, but it has to come from Arteta, aura, and his demeanour, and then that goes down to the players.
Yeah. It's a really good point, and hopefully the Arsenal media team can just clip this up and give this to the boys, because that would be handy. Speaking of belief, CJ, let's go there then. The fans. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel that belief unravelling a little bit amongst some of the Arsenal fans that I chat to online or I'm friends with in real life. There's this kind of acceptance that Manchester City are going to overhaul us.
I don't subscribe to that. Like, obviously, Manchester City have clicked into gear at a horrible time for Arsenal. Great for them. They've reacted to going out the Champions League. They beat us in the Cup. They beat Liverpool. And obviously, they beat Chelsea. That's going to give you, like, that's going to make you want it a lot more. Collectively, they look good. Individually, they look good. But as Perry was saying off screen, I'm not being funny. This is the run we wanted to be in, competing against teams who are quote-unquote the best, where it's looking like we're going to go out of competitions or we're not going to get over the line. This is where legends are made. This is where everything that you've worked on from pre-season to now comes to a head. For me, with Arsenal, you just have to look at the last 3 years. Whatever way we've shaped it, we've got so close but so far. Kind of piggybacking off what Perry said, just use that to drive you. And he made a great analogy about like your past and coming over anxiety. There's nothing they can say, God forbid, but if we don't win the Premier League, there's nothing they can say about our club that they haven't said in the media in the last 3-4 years. I just want to see us seize the present. I haven't always quite felt that we've really gone for it. Like Bournemouth's the best example. Of course, we obviously scored a penalty, but I didn't feel from the off we was quite there individually and collectively. I think we've moved on from the point of like asking questions of the manager, asking questions of the players. We know the tactics that we're good at. We know what we need to improve. Me personally, I'd like to see us be a bit more direct, but I keep saying it, this week is where legends are made. If you go and beat Manchester City, it's not to say all's forgiven, but you give the belief back. I know the statistics are kind to us, like we're top of the table, we haven't dropped that many points, but it's now about using our eyes. When we look to the manager, whether he's looking excited or, as Perry said, whether he's exuding like calmness, whether, you know, we see Max Dowman running at people, somebody clamps someone, we're at the point that makes the Premier League what it is. Like, it's gone beyond tactics. As cringe as it might sound, it's just about desire. It's just about getting a job done in these 6-7 games. Like, how badly do they want it? We know the fans want it. They've got to want it now.
You had a brilliant example. What did you say when we was off air? When
It's
being calm.
Exactly. It's like, you know, you're saying you want the manager to exude that level of calmness when there's a lot of turbulence about, and it's a little bit like air stewardesses on a plane, right?
Exactly.
When you're going through turbulence, everybody looks at them to make sure everything's all right, and if they're cracking on, then you know everything's sweet and you can carry on.
You know what? Even if the plane's going 45 degrees, 41 degrees, and in their heads they're thinking, "Oh my God, we're banging trouble here. I've never done this before." But they've been trained and coached to go, "Yeah, everything right? Yeah. Well, we'll probably be down in a minute, whatever." And no one panics.
Even if they're scared, they have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what the gaffer's got to do.
Yeah, I can't wait for somebody to Photoshop Mikel Arteta and Albert as air stewardess.
Fancy flying up there Sunday morning then.
Arsenal Air. Right, let's go into a few specifics of the Bournemouth game then. And I wanted to talk about the fact that we're just not creating chances, Perry. You know, open play XG, and I know some people, you know, some people's mileage on XG differs, but 0.9 open play XG, which is 0.19, which is the second lowest since registering
Fulham
0.17 against Crystal Palace, in October 2025. So 0.19. We are not creating chances at home. That's what's worrying for me. You know, at the Emirates, against a team like Bournemouth, again, all due respect to Bournemouth, a really good side, by the way, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but at home, I want to see us peppering that goal a bit.
Do you know what it was? When you play for Bournemouth, they played free. They weren't under any pressure. I know they've got a great chance, obviously, maybe getting in a European place, right? But they're not under pressure. So you could actually tell that in their legs, everything was fresh. They weren't overthinking stuff. Like Scott I think he's a really good player anyway, but he was brilliant. And what happens as well is, what we all want to see is Arsenal fans, we're normally good at controlling the game without the ball. We're normally brilliant. That's, you know, when people say, oh, possession stats, whatever, when we're at it, when we go 4-4-2 and we drop mid sort of, not low, but like in the middle of the pitch, whether it's Gyökeres up front or Odegaard or whatever, we always go like the 4-4-2, and then we start closing down, and we're very solid. Against Bournemouth, we were poor on it, but we were really poor off it as well. Yeah. That's when I'm looking at going, all right, if you're poor on it, people can make bad decisions. The passing weren't great, different bad choices, but we were so far off the ball, it was frightening. And what you can do is, he's got to release the hounds a little bit. He's got to be prepared to go, right, we're structured, but when we're in the final third, you go and do what you want to do. If you know, Eze, if you want to go left, you want to go right, there's one for you. Wingers swap over, maybe, for 5, 10
Would love
minutes,
to see that.
Right? But sometimes it's the players got to take responsibility and just go, oh, do you know what? I've got to try and get something here. I've got to try and go in that little pocket. Because if you look at the players that we have, it's not as if we don't have creativity.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned Eze, I mentioned obviously Odegaard. Declan Rice gets himself into the box. I mentioned about Max Dowman. Max Dowman has to play against Sporting Lisbon. He has to play
100%.
because it will lift everybody in the stadium. And he plays with no fear. He doesn't care. He'll get it. He'll dribble. If he gets beat and gets tackled, he doesn't care. He'll get it again. Do you know what I mean? He'll make some bad decisions because he's 16, but others he's electric on other ones. So that positivity will rub off on the other players. But the XG stuff as well, I think the whole game XG was 2.4 because obviously we had set pieces and free kicks, whatever. I don't really care, but honestly, I don't care if we don't create another chance in free play from now to the end of the season and we score every single goal from a free kick or a corner.
Get the job done,
I don't give a rat's backside. And what happens is when the performance is like that, that's when people start looking at all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it highlights it. So again, these players, they can on Sunday, they can put it all to bed.
Yeah.
They can just calm everybody down.
Was there CJ a worry from your perspective about the midfield when the starting 11 came out? Because hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I'm seeing lots of people now saying the double pivot, if you want to call it that, of Zubimendi and Rice, coupled with Kai Havertz in the advanced role, I guess, isn't that creative. What's your thoughts on that, and maybe the decision not to play Eberechi Eze from the start?
It's a weird one. With Eze, obviously, it's one thing these players getting fit. We need to keep them fit. So I wasn't really vexed about him not starting against Bournemouth necessarily. I knew he was going to get minutes. We want you for the running. That's kind of cool. I'm not expecting all the question marks I've had about us in the final third. I'm not expecting it to change this season. Kind of like what Perry's saying. Like, it is what it is. Like, at best, I'm hoping for a purple patch from a Max Dowman or whatnot. When I saw the lineup, I'm not really convinced with them, the front three playing together. I do like Gyökeres. I know Gyökeres needs service, and he's been probably our man of the moment.